we have a great life when we're in tech. We get to build stuff. One of my phrases is leaders are readers.
Hello, everybody. I'm really excited to have Luke Hohmann with me, who is going to speak at the Leadership Summit 2023 about what is a profit stream. That sounds very interesting, Luke.
Yes, thank you. And I'm very much looking forward to speaking at your event. It's quite exciting to put these things together, and they're so helpful. A profit stream is the evolution of a value stream. So right now in the
Mhm.
Agile community, we're talking about value streams and how we want to move from project-based funding to funding a value stream or a consistent delivery of value. And that's a really good concept if you're working in traditional information technology, where say
Mhm.
you're building out a HR system for your company, or you've got some kind of an internal development like a claims processing system for insurance, or maybe core banking functions for a bank. But when you're selling a product, when you're actually selling a solution in the market, you need to quantify that value because you're putting a price on the product and service. So
Mhm.
when you look at the solution in the market, it needs to evolve from a notion of I'm providing value into something that you can quantify and you can manage so that you can generate a true profit for your business. And that's the evolution of a value stream into a profit stream. And I'll be talking about that at the conference.
Yeah, that sounds really interesting, Luke. And now we would like to know you a little better. So please describe yourself in 3 words, Luke.
In 3 words, that's kind of hard, but because we're all complex people. But I'll say that I am enthusiastic, I am hardworking, and I'm playful.
I'm sure it's really good to know more about you in these 3 words. Thank you, Luke. Uh, Luke, one more interesting question, which I'm really keen to know, is if you were not Chief Innovation Officer at Applied Framework, what else you have been doing?
That's a really good question, and it's kind of hard to answer in the sense that there is so much fun in information technology and software development. We have a great life when we're in tech. We get to build stuff, and we're all builders on this call, and we're all builders at this event. So I would be building something. I'm not exactly sure what I would be building. I my university degree is from the University of Michigan in computer engineering and computer science. I did enough hardware to realize that I kind of prefer software. So I'd probably be building some software. I worked in the AI lab years ago, and so given all of the excitement around AI, I probably would be building something in the AI field.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
AI is quite a thing these days, so uh, I'm sure you would have done something amazing out there. Can you let me know what's your favorite holiday destination?
My favorite holiday destination. It's
Yeah.
interesting. We just went on holiday. I have 4 wonderful kids. They're a little older, but I have 4 wonderful kids and a great wife. And we went to Cancun in Mexico, and
Hmm.
it was absolutely lovely. And so my favorite destinations are A, with my wife, and most of the time with my kids. And B, typically somewhere warm or somewhere different. So I've
Uh-huh.
been blessed. I've traveled around the world for work, and many cities that I've been to for work, I want to go ahead and come back and visit for vacation. So I've had more work cities than vacation cities, and now I want
Hmm.
to go back and see those. And so I'm there's lots of places to to
Yeah,
visit.
you should come to India for vacation as well, not just for work. You'll find some
Yeah,
amazing
yeah,
things
I've
to
had
work.
some
Yeah.
friends who just had a lovely 2-week vacation in Delhi, and they just really loved it, and the photos were amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Luke, my next question is about your favorite author and your favorite book. Let us know about it.
I'm an author myself, so this will be my fifth book on software profit streams. So as a book author, you read a lot, and I'm reading books all the time. I would submit to the listeners that one of my favorite books of all time is The Mythical Man Month by Fred Brooks. It is an absolutely famous book about the art and science of software development, and I think it's just really remarkable. But I'm reading books all the time. I try to read both a fiction and a nonfiction book relatively frequently. Um, I tend to read a little bit of science fiction because it's fun to see how people think and reason about the future. And good science fiction is just good stories.
Mm-hmm.
But I would submit that in some ways the best book that you've read is the one you haven't read. Meaning, there's always new content, there's always new authors, there's always fresh, interesting perspectives, and I think one of my phrases is leaders are readers. And
Certainly.
you know, if you want to stay a leader, you have to commit yourself to staying current in reading.
Yeah, absolutely. I second that thought, Luke, absolutely. Now, coming back to your session at Leadership Summit, Luke, why do you think anyone should join your session at the Leadership Summit 2023?
Yeah, my session is really targeted towards individuals who are working on solutions that are sold in the market. So if a person listening to this call is really working inside an internal information technology group, they may not find my session as helpful, but every single developer, every single business leader, every product manager, every scrum master, every product owner, every business owner, if you're working in a company, you have to be able to make a profit, and you have to know the elements of a profit making a solution. And specifically in terms of pricing, pricing isn't a number. It's not, you know, if I have a service, a SaaS service, and I charge $49 a month, that's not a number, that's a system, because there's a license agreement, there's an ongoing set of improvements. I have to know the economics of how many users do I need to have a successful business. If it's a venture-backed business, I have to know the metrics associated with growth. I have to know what my churn is, et cetera, et cetera. So many times in the Agile community, we talk about having a backlog. Every Agile method has a backlog. It doesn't matter, no, it doesn't matter what kind it is. It has a list of things to do. Well, how do you know that the items on your backlog are going to drive profit? And that leads into a different kind of understanding of customers. It's not just what customers want, it's what they want relative to what you can produce in a sustainably profitable manner. And
Mm-hmm.
we need those capabilities more than ever, especially with the global economic downturn. Right now, we
Mm-hmm.
need to make sure that every item on our backlog is going to contribute to profit. We have to be
Mm-hmm.
crisper, we have to be more thoughtful, we have to be more intentional about everything we do.
Absolutely. Looking forward to this session. Luke, one last question before closing this amazing conversation. What are the three key takeaways from your session for anybody?
Yeah, the first takeaway from the session and the forthcoming book is that pricing is not a number, it's a system. The second takeaway is that as your solution evolves over time, your pricing needs to evolve over time. We recently worked with a company that hadn't changed their pricing in 3 years, and that's too
Mm-hmm.
long. You have to be able to change your pricing over time. The third element of our system is that this is a collaborative uh, uh, activity, meaning product leaders, product managers, they don't set the price in isolation. They work with sales, they work with finance, they work with technology, they work with customer care to understand the overall system associated with building out the price to make sure it's successful.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful, Luke. With all that information, I am more keen to attend your session, and I'm sure whosoever is listening to this is gonna be there to join the session. So thank you very much, Luke, for being with us for this discussion.
Thank you very much.